All right, so DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, just shut down USAID. And suddenly, half the country is acting like America just collapsed. You got politicians on TV gasping for air like they just ran a marathon. Journalists are crying about global instability, and the Twitter mob's calling anyone who supports this a threat to democracy. Sounds familiar. And yet, most of these people couldn't even tell you what USAID actually does if you put a gun to their head. They think it's more or less international charity, kind of like the Red Cross, just slap an American flag on the side and call it good. But USAID is largely used as a geopolitical weapon dressed up as humanitarian aid. It's called soft power. It's how the US nudges or sometimes shoves other countries into playing by our rules. One day it's food assistance and HIV medication. Next day it's, we accidentally helped fund a regime change. Crazy. You ever notice how USAID always seems to pop up right before a grassroots revolution? It's weird, right? And now DOGE steps in, finally a government agency doing what it says it was going to do, which is cut out useless spending and force the government to operate with a little bit of efficiency and some transparency. Suddenly it's the end of the world. All they did was shut down a bloated, unaccountable slush fund for U.S. foreign policy games, and people are acting like they just burned down a hospital or something. Like, it's a little out of hand. But here's the thing. Now they're calling you unpatriotic if you support shutting down USAID. Unpatriotic. We're questioning whether your tax dollars should be used to influence foreign elections instead of fixing our own damn country. Last I checked, real patriotism isn't about blindly defending government programs. It's about questioning where our money goes and demanding a little bit of transparency. I don't think that's too much to ask. It kind of sounds like democracy, actually. Let's be real. Most of the loudest critics of this move never even knew what USAID did before today. And honestly, they still don't. They just saw the headlines and just went into complete panic and meltdown because it was a Trump policy. Words came out of his mouth and they lost their mind. So the real conversation is, should we even be doing this in the first place? Should we be engaged in soft power at all? Should we be playing puppet masters in other countries while we can't even fix potholes in our own damn cities? It's a conversation we should be having. Bottom line, love it or hate it, DOGE just forced Americans to actually look at where the money's going. And if you're mad about that, maybe the problem isn't the shutdown, it's the fact that you never knew that this was happening in the first place. We're going to get into that. We got the Super Bowl to talk about, all the latest in politics, tech, science, all the good stuff this week in the Fireside.
Do we need that? Well, that's a guest light, right?
Correct.
I was telling Adam on the way here that I heard a new plausible conspiracy that I had never heard before.
Okay.
And I was like, holy shit, that could really be a thing. Far-fetched.
They could all be a thing.
They could all be a thing.
Just a little bit.
Far-fetched, but I wanted to run it by you guys and see what you thought.
Okay.
So.
Oh, we're doing this now?
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
You edged me all the way here, bro.
Do you remember in the 80s, 90s, maybe 70s, maybe a little bit there, but like when kids would go missing, where would you find their pictures?
On the milk
cartons.
Milk cartons, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it'd be like posters, sometimes they'd run commercials, but milk cartons was the jam. That was the thing. And there was always a reward posted, right? This is Timmy. He went missing from high school. Last seen wearing this.
I don't remember a reward, but
I feel like Walmart had like a whole board by the end.
Yes, remember? And Kmart, like when you were walking out, they had the board of just all the flyers. So
super sad.
Somebody threw this out as there was rewards associated with finding them or turning them in, or
sure,
kind of the silent witness deal, like leading to the finding of. And then they connected it to the Wayfair thing, how that was a thing.
The furniture thing?
They were selling kids.
Yeah.
And then there was this whole big like drink milk campaign, and all these different celebrities had the milk mustaches. And they were like, what if this was the way they were trafficking kids out in the open by putting them on milk cartons with a price for the reward? And then you had all these celebrities promoting the shit out of milk and the milk mustache.
I'm going to say no.
Johnny, that could be real.
No way.
But if I told you they were trafficking kids on a fucking furniture website, you would be
First of all,
I'm pretty sure they proved that, didn't they?
Of course they did not prove it, because who got arrested? Anybody?
Pretty sure they
Nobody.
proved it.
They did not.
Pretty sure
Who
it was
proved
a thing.
it? Reddit?
Wasn't it a thing?
I'm going to say I'm 99.9% sure.
I thought that was
Just
a real
like
thing.
pizza-
Well, what
Pizzagate
about
was a thing.
Pizzagate? They proved that one too.
They
Didn't
did not prove that.
They
That's
were
just,
selling pepperoni pizzas, and it was like little boys and shit.
That's shit that people say, and they're like, yep, it happened.
oh
No,
boy.
people
I thought the
said it
FBI
happened.
came out and said that was the thing because they had all the
Pretty
pedophile
sure.
symbols that link and all the terminology that they linked
Except-
to.
and they had the emails and stuff, ordering pizza
Podesta
for like
emails.
$12,000.
Yeah.
and
Again,
shit.
there's fucking emails about stuff, but they didn't prove anything. It's not like they found a fucking cabal of child molesters
Well,
and
yeah,
they
'cause
fucking
they
rescued all the kids.
We're hiding behind the milk industry, probably.
And everything they said about that pizza thing, like, oh, we go in the basement, and that fucking particular place doesn't even have a basement. Like,
Pretty sure it did.
no, it didn't. The guy went in there.
Comet Pizza?
No,
Yeah, Obama was seen in the basement taking pictures.
no, you guys are so
Dude.
fucking wrong. You
I
guys
think
are,
I found our new side project, Steve.
yeah, you guys have
Project
been,
Milk Mustache.
Convincing John that
you two are
conspiracies are
fucking
possible.
idiots.
That's crazy, though.
That's
I
what
mean,
I'm saying. Like
out there, but fun to fuck around with mentally.
they
but,
were
like,
selling kids on milk cartons.
Did we have interviews of any of the parents of the kids who went missing? Like, can we talk to the parents of the kids who were put on milk cartons?
I think I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
you two talk for a minute.
Parents of the Sandy Hook kids. I don't know.
Oh, don't get me so. You can't say shit on that. We're gonna
Yeah,
get
no,
taken
no.
off the air on that.
John doesn't want to hear about that.
Let me tell you about Sandy Hook, brother, and then buy my supplements.
I'm looking up was a Wayfair child trafficking
I'm pretty sure they said that was legit.
story real. Oh,
Real?
so well, the Washington Post says it was a lie pushed by QAnon, which whatever, that's the Washington Post.
Yeah, dude.
But the BBC, super reputable,
BBC is
says it was a stop. It's the British Broadcasting Company.
Oh,
Adam.
That's why I can never
says the
find any news.
Wayfair was a false conspiracy.
yeah, but of course they're gonna say it was a false
Polaris
conspiracy.
Project. I don't know who they are.
Let me ask you, who
but
would
they
you
got
believe?
Org.
I don't know.
Exactly.
Somebody who
would you
tells me
believe?
I'm right, probably.
Yeah, Reddit.
Okay, that felt personal.
Okay, so well,
Kinda.
so 12 News now, if you believe in mainstream media,
No.
says that Wayfair was not involved in human trafficking, and there's no evidence that strange pricing on a website is linked to sex trafficking. Associated Press said it was baseless Wayfair child trafficking theory spread online.
Well, then where did it start?
USA Today fact check.
QAnon was the starter of all this?
I don't know, man. I mean, I'll say it's definitely possible. I think they've thrown out some pretty quiet,
I mean,
crazy and wild
this is
shit.
the same media apparatus that when that movie came out about the true story about the kids being rescued, they were like,
Yes.
"Oh, it's QAnon." QAnon
They-
wasn't even in the movie.
I think their quote was, "This is a movie for smooth-brained,
Yeah.
right-wing conspiracy QAnon
What movie?
dads."
What movie you talking about?
The Sound of Freedom,
Sound of Freedom.
So I could say,
which was a great movie, by the way. If you guys haven't
so
seen
if
it,
you
it was
take
awesome.
any movie that is based on a true story, it's embellished. Lone Survivor,
Absolutely.
all these things
Absolutely.
are
Absolutely.
embellished.
Yeah, yeah.
However, it doesn't discount the fact that, like, hey,
The
something
topic
happened here.
is real.
Yeah, so when they're talking about this as a movie for whatever, smooth brain QAnon fucking dads, okay, maybe, because it maybe feeds into their shit a little bit more, but there was a real thing happening there.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's the fucking guy, I can't remember his fucking name now, but the guy,
Marcus Luttrell.
no, but the guy would go around, he would like telling his story
Yeah.
of working what happened. Like he was just a
Oh.
dude, he's a financial trader, and he happened to get into this line of work, I guess you'd call it. So, I mean, that's a real thing, and there's actual evidence of that.
But the rhetoric around the movie when it got released from so many different outlets wasn't like, hey, this is great, shine a light on this. It was 100%.
I just
this
think
is
it's crazy
MAGA fuel.
how the mainstream media apparatus refuses to talk about child sex trafficking, period.
Yeah.
It is such a problem. Even with the illegal immigration stuff coming over the last couple of years, like it's been such a problem. I've heard crazy numbers of thousands and thousands of kids missing and shit. We don't talk about
I don't
it.
think
Yeah.
nobody talks about that. I hear quite a bit about it.
Oh, I haven't seen the mainstream media covering it as much as, I mean, maybe it's just, I think it's a bigger problem than a lot of shit they talk about. You know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah.
most of the mainstream media is covering their fucking, their hatred of Donald Trump. Like that's where most of their energy goes. So, I mean, good luck getting anything past that. Fucking,
Anyway, milk cartons.
yeah,
Yeah,
milk cartons.
Selling and trafficking children, possibly. Possibly you.
Definitely not me, but
Not you. Not you personally. Maybe. I don't know. Possible.
definitely not me.
Let me ask you this, John. If it
Mhm.
turned out that that was true, is there any part of you that would be surprised in the slightest?
Ooh, good question.
Would you be like, oh my God, I'm blown away. I can't believe
I
that's
think
real.
at this point in my life, it's hard to just get me to like, oh, wowzers. I never saw that. Like, come on. Like,
That's what I'm
there's-
saying. Like,
There's so much nonsense in the world
yeah.
that is true. Again, we have enough true shit like, why are we digging into shit that's just total nonsense?
Oh, I didn't dig. I just saw it and I was like, oh, I can get behind that.
No, the fact that
could be real.
somebody did. Like, dude, go to
Somebody
work,
did.
pay your fucking bills. Like, worry about real
Just
shit.
shut the fuck up.
Just shut the fuck up. Like, just
Shut
and
the
then
fuck up.
and then they'll fucking repost it on X, and 10 other fucking idiots will do it, and then it's exponential growth
They'll
from there.
post it as a breaking news story.
Yes, they all do. They're all fucking
Whistleblower.
retards. Go on, man. God damn it. This is the problem with free speech. Maybe we got it all wrong.
Maybe they got it right.
Somebody needs
Take
to
it
control
away.
it. Somebody needs to control it. Somebody, because it's out of hand. There's so many fucking retards in the world that just retweet everything. Don't do 10. I got into another fucking Twitter bat. Like, I just can't.
Yes.
Yeah,
Let's hear it.
that.
It's not like a battle. It's just these people that do zero fucking research about anything. And I was disgusted. I was finding myself defending Ilhan Omar of all people, that because somebody put up a thing. How does her net worth balloon from $174,000 government salary? How is she worth $83 million? I'm like,
Insider trading.
I was like, wow.
USAID.
I was like, wow, that sounds crazy. Let
Yeah.
me check out what her net worth is. Nothing. Like, she doesn't even own a home.
He just
Yeah.
made it
Like,
up.
there's nothing. Like, they just say it. And they've said it about a billion other Democrats. Well, you could say it about people like Nancy Pelosi because look at her fucking net worth. You
Yeah.
could say it about people like the Clintons.
They
Look
have
at their net worth.
They have built apps to track her
Yes,
trading, and you
yes.
can match what they do. Like,
It's a great
that's
idea.
verifiable.
So any good you think you're doing by saying, hey, trying to take this Democrat down, you're just making people think you're an idiot and taking away from your cause. Like, anytime somebody calls Trump Hitler, he's not Hitler. You're fucking, it's just empty words at this point. So it's just fucking drives me crazy. So I was going back and forth with this whole fucking mob on X, and they're fucking idiots.
Yeah, but I think for every one person who goes, hey, you're a fucking idiot, you didn't check that, there's 10 people that go, oh my God, that's real. Let's spread it.
Exactly. Those are all the people I was arguing with. They're all fucking retweeting and like, did you see this one? And that one. And they're fucking idiots.
Hey, follow us on X, Fireside Show.
Follow us on
By
X.
the way.
Hey, if you want to get into some fucking Twitter beef, let's fucking do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, call John out. Let's get into fights.
Dance battles, rap battles, and Twitter beefs. We're your fucking guys.
Speaking of rap battles and dance battles,
Yeah.
we can talk about the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That just happened.
Yeah. Talking about the halftime show?
Let's talk about
Let's
it
talk
all.
about all of it.
Let's talk about it all. The Eagles
Travis
won.
Kelce's hair looking glorious.
Somebody posted a picture of him after the game. He's like, imagine being in the Super Bowl, getting 39 yards and 0 touchdowns, and having to leave the fucking stadium in this fit. And they showed his fucking outfit and his stupid fucking haircut. I'm like, oh God.
I read something that said Travis Kelce's going to go home and clap bones tonight.
Clap.
Oh.
Somebody did Taylor Swift pretty dirty though. They like photoshopped, like, imagine losing the Super Bowl and going home to this, and they clearly made her ass look like fucking
Flat.
straight up and down. Like, she's got more than that. Come on.
I saw one with Napoleon Dynamite's face superimposed on her face, and when Travis was hugging her, and it fit like perfectly. The edit was
I did. Yeah,
spot
that
on.
was good. That was pretty good. Fucking Codison went out to our fantasy group this morning. What did it say? All right, let me see if I can find it. But there are obviously a lot of good memes after the Super Bowl.
Hey, while he does that, throwback to a year ago, the Super Bowl conspiracy, colors, schemes. Where are we at on that? Did we?
I mean, it was red and
We
green.
already talked about it. Yeah, it was red
I'm
and
saying, but the throwback to just to bring that back while you're looking up something up.
green. Oh no, it's got Taylor Swift yelling at Travis Kelce. Obviously, nobody can see this. But 0 catches, 0 yards, and 2 drops in the first half doesn't put fuel in the jet. Travis.
I had a doctor's appointment this morning, and I walked in, and the lady that comes in, she was like, "Hey, what'd you think of the Super Bowl?" And I was telling her, and she's like, "Who did you want to win?" I said, "I wanted the Eagles to win." She said, "You didn't think the Chiefs were going to win?" I said, "No, I thought the Chiefs were going to win. I wanted the Eagles."
Different question.
Yeah, she goes, "Oh, why do you think people don't like the Chiefs?" And I was like, "Well, just lots of reasons." And she goes, "You think it's because of Taylor Swift?" And I was like, "Well, we talked about the whole." I started to get into like, it was good for the NFL. I think it was a PR move between her people, his people. Let's make a thing. And I was going somewhere with that, and now I totally lost track because
We're talking about the colors at the Super Bowl.
yeah, I derailed. Too many things at the same time.
That was another fucking Twitter beef I was getting into people because they were talking about why is Taylor Swift being booed? It's blah, blah.
That was awesome.
Going into all kind of like woke nonsense. I'm like, no. Philadelphia fans are obnoxious and they're loud as
That's
shit.
what we got into. She was like, "Do you think they?" Oh, that was the whole
Yeah.
point. She said, "Do you think that it's because they really don't like her as a person?" And I said, "No." My buddy Johnny put it very well. Philly fans are fucking assholes. Like everybody who's a Philly fan. Like if you are a Philly fan, other Philly fans are great.
Yeah.
But if you're anybody other than a Philly fan, like you probably hate Philly fans. So because they're mean.
They're the worst people in the world. I think I've talked about this. There is no getting around that fact. They're awful. They fucking booed Santa Claus.
Yeah.
I think in the 70s they threw snowballs at Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Like they're assholes. So when they see Taylor Swift on the big screen at the Super Bowl, they are gonna boo the shit out of her.
Why not?
If they had a chance to throw a beer at her, they would.
Now if she was dating.
Yeah, if she was dating Jalen Hurts or Saquon, like
the other Kelsey,
they would love her.
It'd be different.
Yeah, they would love her. But I mean, that's just Philly fan. It has nothing to do with Taylor Swift or her music or her political agenda. They just hate everybody.
Yeah.
So that was another battle I got into. It has nothing to do with any of this.
Did you see every time Mahomes got hit, he like immediately was like looking to the ref, like what? I got tapped.
There was one meme they put. It was the last time he got sacked. It was the strip sack.
Yeah,
and he got hit in the face after he had fumbled.
I loved it.
He got hit in the face after he fumbled. I'm pretty sure.
It was after. Right,
it's not roughing the passer.
Right. And that's why they enforced it after on the switch of possession.
But the face mask went right back into Mahomes' face, and somebody like zoomed in and cropped it a little bit and said, "Put it in the Louvre." Like, it's fucking beautiful. Yeah. And I got to thinking, like, yeah, that really does fucking hurt getting your face mask smashed on your lips and your nose. God.
Yeah, it was.
I loved it.
Pretty impressive win.
No, I mean, start to finish, ass whipping.
Yeah.
Like when they showed Patrick Mahomes, his highlight reel started with like 3 minutes left in the third.
Yeah.
Like, he was getting
with all the backups in.
Oh my God, I fucking loved it. It was so great.
Yeah, I usually like to see a closer game. I like to see a good game, something that's fun to watch. But that I was okay with.
Yeah, dude. And then obviously you get to the halftime show, which drew a lot of mixed reactions, we'll say. And you can pretty much guess all of your friends on your fucking Facebook timeline who hated it and who loved it.
Absolutely.
And that was no exception for me across the board. And even guys at the station like, what is this shit? This is the word. I'm like, check.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it just tracks. I don't get why people get so offended. The NFL just lost a fan. Like, what are you fucking talking about?
Over the halftime show?
It's fucking music,
Calm
dude.
down.
He's like, they need to stop going woke. I'm like, what about Kendrick Lamar is fucking being woke?
Yeah.
Like, he's a musician. Like, either you like
he's
hip-hop.
a super popular musician. Like he's it's not like
he just won a Grammy.
Yeah, it's not like he's not in the mix right now.
He's not some obscure dude they pulled out of the basement. Like, either you like hip hop or you don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I like some of Kendrick's songs and I don't like a lot of them.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, as far as the performance went, like, if you didn't know his songs, or even you had a hard time following along just because the audio, I think, was pretty muffled by the music.
Yeah.
Like, so it made it kind of hard to follow along with his vocals, and that some people had a problem with that.
Well, he's got a very unique cadence on some of his songs that he drags and stretches some words out. So if the audio's off and you're not familiar with it, like we were sitting with a bunch of guys going, I literally have no idea what the fuck he just said. I couldn't pick out one word other than like peanut butter or something crazy. Like
like say, if you don't know the song, like you're gonna have a hard time following along, and that makes for kind of a shitty experience. But I mean, as far as the show went, I thought it was a pretty good performance. Like, how good can you get? Like,
so some of the guys that we were with, again, like half the guys didn't know what he was saying, and the other half like knew every lyric. And they said that the way he was teasing getting to that last song,
everyone knew that they not like us. Everyone knew he was getting there.
And for anybody who doesn't know, Kendrick Lamar has a pretty big beef with Drake, the rapper Drake. And the song They Not Like Us is pretty much like an all-out. They've been having a feud. They've been blasting back and forth. But this one was like an all-out assault on Drake, lyrically.
Like his friends, like his crew.
All of it, yeah. I just annihilated it.
Even I think the album cover, like to that single, was a Google Earth view of Drake's house.
Oh, no shit. Yeah. Well, I mean, so much to the tune that Drake had to like issue a cease and desist because he was getting threats because in the song, I think Kendrick calls him a pedophile.
He's wearing that fucking medallion, A minor.
Yeah, A minor. And so Drake had to come out and even say like, my kid's getting harassed at school. Like I'm getting death threats. Like you got a cease and desist. So the fact that he kept hinting towards that song, like everyone was like, oh shit, this is a big deal. So to the people who are fans of Kendrick Lamar, like they loved it. They thought it was amazing. And I just knowing the feud, and I've heard some of his songs. I couldn't tell you lyrics. I couldn't tell you names of songs, but like I know which ones are by the sound are his. I thought that was a pretty cool way to go about it.
Yeah. Again, artistically, like you got to give it to him. Like he did his thing.
Absolutely.
A lot of people, and
he put on the show for his fans.
And more than anything, you got everybody talking about it. Like love him, hate him. Don't care. Like everyone was talking about that, I think more so than the game.
Yeah.
That filled up every fucking feed I was looking at.
Yeah.
The wildest thing too is like I didn't quite put this together at the time, but somebody mentioned it on X. Like Serena Williams out there fucking crip walking.
Drake's ex-girlfriend, by the way.
Drake's ex-girlfriend. Number one, Serena Williams is married with children.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine being the husband and like, hey, I'm going to go get into this fucking rap beef.
Yeah, this feud.
About my ex. I'm like,
yeah.
Let it go, bitch.
Yeah,
fucking let it go.
Right.
We've moved on, right?
You what?
I know you're going to go. Anyway. And then she's out there crip walking. I was like,
She got in trouble for that at a tennis match, right?
Apparently she didn't actually do that at Wimbledon, but something similar.
Okay.
But anyway, I was thinking like, it got me thinking just a little bit like, wasn't her sister killed by gang members? And then I was like,
was she?
I kind of let that thought go. And then I saw it on X and somebody's like, her sister was killed in a drive-by shooting in 2003 by a member of a Crip gang.
Oh,
and she's
that's poor form.
Like, essentially,
poor form.
Are you dancing on your sister's grave at that point?
Like, you didn't think that one through.
Like, hey, like Kendrick, do I have to fucking Crip walk out here?
Yeah.
Like,
Can I do anything else?
must I?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like that. I thought that was kind of poor form on both things. Like,
Maybe she's hurting for money, man. I don't know.
I doubt she even got paid. She probably just like fuck Drake. In which case, again, being her husband, I'm like, let
Why
it go,
are you still
bitch.
worried about
let
it?
it go. So
Yeah.
I thought that like it was entertaining. Yeah, on a lot of different levels, it was entertaining.
Yeah. I think too, and I mean, Adam, you probably noticed it too if you watched it. Like, somebody made a good comment about this, and I actually noticed this at the time. But like, this was the first, it feels, first halftime show. I mean, maybe the Dre, Snoop, Eminem.
I like that one a lot.
Maybe that one wasn't there, but like the first halftime show, first celebration, concert deal, whatever, like in a while that hasn't had like these serious like satanic undertones or like the red or the devils or the like just a creepy like death vibe along with all the stuff that they're doing.
I don't remember. I remember Beyonce's show. I don't remember that being like that.
I guess Beyonce wasn't either.
No.
But it seems like so many of the musical ceremonies, like it's always like the shock value.
I don't think it's
they want
the Super Bowl ones so much like that, but like the award shows, very much so.
Fair enough.
I know what you're saying. But yeah, the Super Bowl, I think they kind of lay off that a little bit.
It was pretty patriotic from what I remember.
Yeah.
I had to watch it all on replay.
Shaped up like the flag. And
we didn't turn a wheel all day. And the camera, I cannot make this up. The camera panned back for kickoff. Boop. Fucking light show. We were gone till the game was over. Like, I didn't watch a single minute of the game. But I do. What's his name? Sam Jackson was dressed as Uncle Sam or something.
Yeah.
He was just
kind of
very
like
America.
Well, he was
you know
Uncle
what I mean?
Sam. Like, if you listen to
Uncle
people
Sam
like,
Jackson.
It was like Uncle Tom Jackson.
Yeah.
Like,
Ooh,
so,
boy.
and he was like, hey, Kendrick, play it safe, cater to the white man. And he's like, fuck you, cracker.
Yeah,
I'm gonna,
don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to do my thing. So, like when you read some of the undertones, I'm like,
I'm
that
gonna
makes sense.
come.
I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. I'm going to come. Don't do it. Don't do it, motherfucker. No, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So, I thought it was pretty cool. On a lot, like, again, you don't have to like him to enjoy his show. Or if you don't like, you just don't like hip hop.
Yeah.
So everyone is like, not everybody, but a lot of people. It's the worst fucking halftime show ever.
Yeah.
Like, was it?
Do you remember the
The
Black
Rolling
Eyed
Stones
Peas?
kind of sucked.
The Black Eyed Peas was
sucked.
fucking
I don't
garbage.
even remember that one.
Yeah.
That's
I
why.
erased it from my memory.
Yeah, you don't remember because
There's
it's
some
fucking trash.
There's some bad ones. But like you talk about Beyonce, I kind of think like pop music lends itself to a much better performance.
Sure.
Because you get the they're dancing and all kind of shit.
Well,
Like
yeah,
it's
you
just
got-
a
you
better
get all the backup
performance.
dancers.
Yeah,
It's just
'cause-
more fun to watch.
Yeah, because nobody's singing, you're lip syncing. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think
Hey, and they
Whatever.
not like us. To quote Kamala Harris,
They not like us.
They
There's
not
one-
like us.
one guy had a pretty good like he was pretending to be Drake while he's watching it. Like, oh, he's gonna do it, and he's like, oh no, he's just faking. He's not gonna do it. He's gonna play it safe. He knows better. I'm like, oh shit, he's doing it. He ain't gonna say my name though. He's like, hey Drake.
Yeah.
Oh, no. He's like, is he in my every thought he had? He's like, he's not gonna do that.
Yeah.
And then he kept doing it. He's like, is he in my head? How is he doing it? It was fucking great. So yeah, that was my take on the Super Bowl. I thought it was kind of fun.
Yeah. I was glad. I thought it was pretty funny. Did Saquon didn't have a touchdown, right?
No.
So I saw a funny post before that I mean probably would have panned out, but it was talking about how the U.S. debt right now is like up to like 36 trillion or 37
Chump
trillion
change.
dollars. They were saying, I don't understand why the government doesn't just put 70T on Saquon to score an anytime touchdown and cash that bitch out.
So we'll be out of this tomorrow.
Parlay.
Yeah, our debt is gone.
Think FanDuel can cover that?
Oh, I don't know, man. I mean, shit, they would have made a ton of money.
Fucking
They
wild.
would have made a lot of
Wouldn't that
money.
be funny, dude?
Just
fucking
bet the national
We're
debt.
wasting money everywhere else. Why not
United-
fucking roll a prop bet?
United States of FanDuel. That would have been amazing.
Parlay.
I saw that. I was like, oh, that's pretty good, man.
Dude, I just throw it on a fucking Eagles to win. Throw it just a 1-for-1.
Yeah.
Throw it down.
Go big. 1T.
Yeah.
We're at
Whatever.
36. What's 37 if we lose?
Fucking A, you know what I mean?
Yeah, fucking Coda had a couple bets going. Like one was Worthy getting 2 touchdowns, which
Wow.
fucking eked it out.
Dude,
and got
because
it.
of,
Because of
at the
garbage
very
time.
end. Yeah.
Garbage time.
Pretty wild.
There was another couple who's like, dude, that's a crazy one. Like, you ain't getting that.
We did it first. What'd you guys do for chow? Did you guys do typical pizza wings?
Scrap.
Scrap was there?
It was on the LD, and he cooked brisket and ribs.
Damn.
He like pre-shot, pre-cook. He did the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah, Scrap came.
We did it first. I had pictures. I was gonna put them
They
in.
were
I forgot
pretty
to.
awesome, dude.
So you've seen the corned beef tacos with the foil on the table, no utensils, no plates.
Sure.
So we went nacho orgy.
Nacho orgy.
Yeah.
Okay.
We bought like 12 bags of chips, and we put the tables in a U, put down foil, threw down that, and then the homemade nacho cheese, beans,
Yeah.
8 pounds of chicken, 8 pounds of carne asada. 16 pounds of meat for 12 guys. Smother these nachos in every topping you can imagine, just all along the foil. On the
You didn't
table.
get a picture of that?
Oh, I got pictures.
He's got
I
pictures.
just didn't link. I meant to link them to this.
Dude, let me see. We're pulling over. I got to see this.
It was pretty awesome.
Pretty
dude.
impressive.
Dude, that's amazing. Nacho orgy.
I sent the picture to Adam. I was like, "This is a first." And the only reason I didn't send it to you is because I was gonna try and link it for the show. But those boys at 11 did it right, boy.
Leb.
Lab.
See this nacho orgy.
Let me see if I can find a good one. I take it from some different angles so you can see the depth.
It's pretty fucking cool, dude. In the booter's like no dishes,
pretty good.
dog.
The floor is a fucking mess, though.
Dude.
Guaranteed.
No, actually, it actually worked out really well.
Really?
It was pretty good.
Fucking solid.
So worked out good, man. It was pretty fun.
Nice.
Good shift.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Got the Super Bowl. I guess we can get into just, the world, right?
World, Craig.
Get into the world. So I kind of picked a topic this week because it's out there in the news a little bit, and I don't think a lot of people like kind of understand what's going on. I keep getting these weird messages. So Adam, you can pull up A1 here. Everyone's been talking about USAID.
Yeah.
And the abuse, the spending, possible fraudulent spending. Everyone's got their hand in the cookie jar type thing, and Doge came in and shut everything down, right? So I just kind of wanted to throw some things out there because I hear people talking about USAID like it's a fucking like this charity and like
It's a piggy bank.
No, they're talking about USAID like it is just charity for the world and it does so much good. And now that we're shut off the faucet, like the kids aren't going to get their AIDS medication and things like that, and people are going to starve all over the world because we do this to take care of so many people throughout the world. And I was like, yeah, that's kind of a part of it. But like, if you pay attention to any kind of new, like I kind of geek out on foreign policy stuff. I just have since I was a fucking kid. USAID just kind of pops up around all of these fucking global events like regime change and
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Things like that. So basically, this is just a little PowerPoint, if you will, on how USAID is going to function as soft power. So why is this? Of course, it's not working. Adam, there we go. Oh, no, of course it's not working. Anyway, basically, what happened?
Technical difficulties, folks.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I got to fucking
stand by.
Johnny's trying to operate this PowerPoint from phone to video feed.
Got all sorts of tech going on right
everything worked 100% until
that's the way it always works.
Now.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Fuck it. No.
That's the way to do
we'll
it.
skip it. What do you got, Steve? We'll make this work.
Say skibbity?
Skibbity. I'm fucking.
Oh, no, don't.
No, it's not working.
No, it's all right. Do your USAID. I got USAID stuff to talk about. You can chime in. Find your stuff.
Yeah, go ahead. No,
So. Oh, Johnny's gonna break shit. Anyway, USAID. We talked about that. So this big global relief fund, right? And obviously it's out in the world. Everybody's looking at it. Doge came in, canceled it, which I think you were saying, Johnny, right? Supreme Court wise, they said he can't just do that. Is that correct?
Yes.
You can say yes or no. You don't have to. I know you're on mic. It's not Supreme Court, but whatever it was, Congress. Somebody said you can't just come in and make that decision. So anyway, so they started digging into looking at this and looking at where all the monies are actually going and coming from. And what people are finding is that like the governmental nepotism of USAID is pretty crazy. So one of the things they pointed out was that 85 million. I mean, there's just all these large chunks of money getting separated out to different people in different organizations. But Chelsea Clinton's organization was paid $85 million. Yeah, Lindsey Graham, who serves as the director at the Republican Institute, and that organization received $130 million. The board of trustees of the Leland, which nobody really knows what that endowment is for, but they received $1.5 billion in taxpayer funds, again, all from USAID. There's something like $52 million to the World Economic Forum. There's something called EcoHealth Alliance, which received $53 million and used taxpayer funds to support gain-of-function research for the coronavirus at the Wuhan lab.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, so what they found is, and this was on the usspending.gov website, they actually have a list of where all the spending went, and there was like 4 different avenues of where donations from USAID and all their money and their spending, 4 different avenues where it went to the Wuhan lab in China for gain of function for coronavirus. So pretty wild there.
So for the dumb people at home, myself included, you're telling me USAID paid for the development of what would become COVID-19?
Yes, assisted in the payment.
Shut the fuck
assisted
up.
in development of, which is, I think a lot of people understood and realized that during the Obama administration, that it came out that we did have a hand in funding that research to some degree, but now with all these allotments of payments from USAID coming out, and they're able to actually track where this money went because now it's all public, that they're seeing that more than just one avenue that we had a hand in spending on that.
It's fucking unbelievable, dude.
Yeah. Did you hear any of that?
A little bit.
Cool.
Not much. Wuhan lab, some funding there.
Yeah, the EcoHealth Alliance for the USAID.
That means our tax dollars paid for COVID-19.
You're welcome.
I know they've tracked, you can directly track money to the Wuhan. There's other things that you can kind of indirectly track that way and say, hey, it probably went for this, but you can directly track. I think it was at least $1 or $3 million directly to Wuhan lab.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Why are we funding fucking gain of function research labs in China?
The one that I thought was weird that was interesting was, actually there's a couple of them, but one was $90 million to the city of San Francisco for HIV emergency relief project grants.
To San Francisco?
San Francisco.
For what again?
HIV emergency relief project grants. Is the AIDS epidemic, the HIV epidemic in San Francisco that bad that they need? It's
gotta be, dude. They need money for
relief. I mean, it's super gay.
Kind of gay, dude.
I mean, so this USA, when you see a lot of these, things like that, and the gay orchestra and the Siberian this and that, and EV stations in Vietnam,
14K to Divas adult sex toys they had a receipt for.
So I mean,
from USAID.
USAID's one of their big functions is soft power, and soft power is essentially,
or hard power, I guess, if you want.
Hard power would be us coming in as military and taking over, right? Hey,
I was talking about the sex toys, Bill. That's kind of hard power if you think about it.
Because of
sex toys.
Mm-hmm. There was a receipt for $14K to Divas Adult Sex Toys LLC from USAID.
So
he's bailing out the mom and pop shops. You know what I mean?
So you hear a lot of these things, these weird fucking things, hey, why are we funding the transgender this or the gay that or this or that? Or you hear a lot of these weird fucking things, why are we doing that? And a lot of things are because USAID functions as soft power. So let's just say we have a government that might be wanting to side with China or might be wanting to side with Russia. And that can't happen, right?
Yeah.
That can't fucking happen. So what do? We start looking around in these areas, who could be in opposition to them, right? So you find somebody that might be in opposition. This would be better if I had my fucking size because you can see. But basically we start funding them. We start giving them $1 million here. We start giving them $1 billion there. And why are we doing that? It's because we're trying to prop up this organization that maybe the Gay Alliance is the best way to get in Venezuela to start voicing opposition for the ruling party there. So you start seeing these weird fucking things because you can't come out and say, hey, we're giving them $1 billion because we're trying to overturn Venezuela.
Sure.
Things like that. So you kind of see the weird fucking expenditures and you wonder, why the fuck is that? Why are we funding the trans this or and all that shit? And only makes sense if you actually look where that money is going and kind of who's in power in those governments and what is happening in that region, such as Ukraine prior to 2014. They're, very pro-Russia at that point. Like, hey, can't have that, right? Maybe we need to start throwing some money around, start propping up all the local media, all the opposing voices. We need to give them money. We need to have their voices amplified. Let's start flooding that arena with money. That way they can do what they need to do to get their voices heard. And maybe just by accident, we get to overthrow a government. It's a little more friendly for the U.S., right?
So, and I can't find I had a whole breakdown through ChatGPT, help break it down for me, but I can't find that. No, I don't know if it timed out or what, but it was saying like, I want to say it said like since the 70s, going back to the 70s, like it's been used and involved in toppling governments or assisting in toppling governments or coups, staging coups. And that's not a new thing, but it's funny because you go, to support that, there's plenty of pictures of like terrorists standing around doing stuff. There's like banners for USAID in the background, and
I've seen those, dude.
All the goods and stuff being delivered,
with machine guns, in back of them.
Like in Syria right now, we are literally backing Al Qaeda. Why? Because it kind of suits our interests at the moment. Like Al Qaeda, the same guys that knocked down
the forever war.
Now they're our buddies in Syria, just because it suits our interest. There's this thing in Cuba. I can't remember exactly what it was called, but we were trying to topple the Cuban government. I can't remember this, like maybe 2010-ish, something like that. But you've heard of the Arab Spring, how like their voices were propped up using Twitter, social media, and we were actually able to shut down a lot of other voices in that area and amplify the revolution via Twitter. So you get this, like that's condensing it down very simply. But like, hey, it'd be cool if we could do the same thing in Cuba.
It's almost a propaganda move, like where you just
100%.
You're limiting what information gets out, and it's the stuff that you want to be heard.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, they'd never do that in America, though.
No,
just so you know, they would never do that in America. But they did it in Cuba because, like, hey, let's topple their government. But you can't have American-owned companies in Cuba. So I found a couple Cuban business guys that said, hey,
built them up.
Do you want to start this thing? It's called Twitter. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a Spanish word for hummingbird.
Tweeter.
I was going to say
it's Twitter.
Twitter.
It's
Twitter.
Like,
Twitter is spaces.
The Spanish word for hummingbird is what that is. So it even had like the little bird and all that. The layout was exactly
El Hummingbird. I want to say
sounds right.
El Hummingbird.
Yeah.
So look it up. Look up Cuban. Just Google Cuban Twitter.
Oh, I'm looking up a Spanish word for it.
I told you, dude. El Hummingbird.
So anyway,
Colibri.
Huh?
Colibri.
Cuban Twitter. Let's see.
Colibri.
That pulls up Mark Cuban's Twitter. Zunzuneo.
Zunzuneo. Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, I saw that.
It's Cuban Twitter.
Yeah.
So basically, they had these Cuban business guys started up, and it initially was putting out like music and I think it's like sports scores.
Yeah,
and
it
stuff
sucks you in.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
And then
they were able, some naked bitches.
They were able to use like some kind of coding where they were able to figure out in the areas of town where like the revolutionary voices could be heard. And then they started feeding them propaganda, just these certain people. And then as soon as they knew that other areas were allowed, like were receptive to the message, they started amplifying it.
We're talking about 15 years ago. They were using this tactic.
We're trying to take over Cuba like 15 years ago. It wasn't that long ago.
Right.
So, they do that shit all over the world. So, like, when you hear like, hey, why are we funding a software venture in Cuba? That's fucking why. Like, why are we funding this weird thing in South America? That's why. All we fucking care about is taking over governments and having governments that can maybe give us better trade policies, Western friendly governments, so we can do whatever the fuck we want. Like, it's just what it is.
Fuck yeah. So that guy Ian Carroll I follow, I think you know about him, but he's one of the guys who digs deep into like the stakeholders and like who's the fund manager and all that stuff. So he started looking at the USAID deal, and he was basically backtracked and said that there's a company called Chemonics Inc. or Chemonics Inc.
Chemonics, yeah.
So they have the
There's
largest
a huge scandal about that.
The largest recipient of U.S. foreign aid, obviously from this USAID. They've received $17 billion. That was through 2019. And their company is mostly for transporting AIDS drugs to Africa. Mm-hmm. And they were saying of all the stuff that they've done, this was in 2017, there's multiple articles saying that only 7% of the health commodity shipments arrive to their destination on time and in full. So to put that in perspective, that means 93% of their 389 shipments delivered during that quarter were either incomplete or failed to arrive in the 21-day window.
Yeah, so they had, this was a while, I'm trying to remember. all of that. But this, what'd you say, 7 years ago, 8 years ago?
Yeah.
So I think the only thing anybody got in trouble for was overbilling.
Right.
But that was it. It was like $3 million. Hey, we overbilled like $3 million. My bad. Here's the $3 million. But like you said, like half the shit was getting there. Like, and when it did get there, it wasn't complete. So
Yeah.
they were overbilling. Like they were basically billing for shit that never happened.
And that was even if they were showing up.
And that's the part of USAID where people start saying waste and fraud. Yeah, I get the soft power thing, and like a lot of people I don't think understand that, and maybe don't want to understand that. Maybe they just want to believe that we're sending AIDS drugs to Africa, and that is good. But the other part of it is the fraudulence and the waste. Like it's such a huge pile. Like it used to be $40 billion budget under Biden. It went to $100 million per year because of like Ukraine and Taiwan and all that shit.
Well,
but think about $100 billion.
Yeah.
You could get a lot of fucking fraud there, right?
Well, they show the CEOs of all these companies basically, and their staffing, you know, their C-suite staff or whoever it is of all these different companies that are getting these allotments, and they all have salaries in like the $400,000 to $500,000 range.
Yeah,
like it's insane the amount of spending that goes into propping these companies up and keeping them there. When I mean, again, that all tax funded, taxpayer funded.
That goes back to my Twitter beef. I can't remember what her title was at USAID, but she's the former whatever head of USAID. And she made like a $400,000 a year salary, which I guess if you're managing $100 billion company, sure, you deserve that. Nobody would begrudge you that. But her net worth went from, I think, like $6 million to 30-something million in this her 3 or 4 year span of running USAID. So I was like, no way.
Just saving.
I was like, no way that's right. I looked into it. I'm like, yeah, her net worth is now $36 billion over the last few years. Like, that's crazy.
Good with money.
And that's when other people started saying, yeah, look at Ilhan Omar and this and that. I'm like, no, you're fucking idiots.
Yeah. That Ian Carroll guy, he was like, this is obviously another side topic, but he was like, why does Africa have the highest HIV and AIDS need for medication? Like, are they just sitting around butt fucking each other and just shooting up heroin? Or like, is it because of unclean living conditions? Like, or is it possible that maybe there was gain of function research and testing and that type of that part of the world and population? He was like, I'm not even gonna get into that. And I was like, holy shit, I never even thought about it from that standpoint.
There's a lot of controversy on how AIDS started to begin with.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just watched this economic
Fauci,
thing.
we're looking at you.
Fauci was in charge of that one too, boys.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
It's weird.
But
probably from a bat at a wet market. That
Well,
fell in
yeah,
some
someone
soup.
ate a pangolin or some shit. I don't know.
pangolin. That's the way they need to change that name.
Pangolin.
Every time I
That's
hear
what-
pangolin, I think someone's mispronouncing penguin. Like it's actually pronounced
okay?
penguin.
Are you all right? Hold your arms out for me real quick.
Yeah.
What was that thing? God damn it. It was another movie with Zach Galifianakis.
The Hangover.
I'll think of it. It'll come to me.
Due Date.
It might have been Hangover. It might have been Due Date. But it's
Hangover 2.
one of those. Idiot. I don't even know what the fuck I was going to say now. What are we talking about? Oh, I just watched this economic thing on why Africa is still so poor despite all the resources. That country is fucked. So, So when you say like shitty living conditions and all that stuff, yeah, there's a lot of that, dude. They are fucked over there. So like Ebola fucking spreads over. Like Ebola doesn't spread in the United States. Like they just get a lot of fucking disgusting diseases over there because of lack of infrastructure.
Yeah.
It's like living back in the Middle Ages sometimes. Like open sewage and stuff. Like it's terrible. So I can
syphilis,
all of it.
Everywhere.
Fucking syphilis. Just people going out of their fucking minds. Yeah, Africa. I felt so bad for some of those African. Like, you guys are never gonna, like, you guys are fucked permanently, and it's because of. I mean, there's a lot of. This is a long fucking movie. I won't talk about it, but so yeah, I could see why they have a lot of AIDS medication going over there and malaria and all that shit. They're just, I don't want to say unclean, but shit's not clean. I don't know.
Dirty motherfuckers.
They're fucking dirty. Like, you can only say so many bad things about Africa until someone says, you racist motherfucker.
Yeah.
I don't know. Look at fucking Uganda. It's fucked.
Yeah.
It's fucked. I'm sorry.
But sometimes truth hurts.
So, like, USAID sending stuff over there, yeah, it's probably really good. And that's the one thing you're like, oh, yeah. That's what everyone thinks it is. It's just like Red Cross with the fucking American flag on the side instead. Like,
nope,
it's not. Wrong. It's not. Look at all, again, if you were to look, anybody listening, look at all the weird things we're funding. Look who the government is. Are they in line with the U.S. or is it a very tenuous relationship that we're trying to circumvent? Yeah. Just look at that and you'll see like, oh, okay, maybe I understand why we're funding a gay opera now.
But even still, like, I think it would come back to if that's taxpayer funded. I think it would come back to many people in the U.S. going, "Hey man, why don't we just mind our own fucking business?"
Well, that's the bigger question, right? Like, should we be doing this at all?
Yeah.
I mean,
you look at, and I know it's so much more than this, but we've joked about it and touched on the topic of like the gay opera or the transgender comic book or this and that. Like, you're talking about, what was it, 0.03% of the population? Like,
something crazy.
We're gonna dump millions into that small percentage of people to win over like a revolution. Well, no, those fuckers ain't fighting in a revolution.
I thought all operas were gay. Like, that's
full transparency. All operas.
Touche.
But you know what I mean? Like, we're not giving money to like prop up the gay voice over there, or it's a gender thing. It's like, this is our in. This is our in.
Choose your words wisely.
I didn't say in the back door.
Okay, all right.
Although you could be looked
this is a way in the back door with the gay community.
And out.
You gotta be careful with what you say about the back door.
Yeah.
But I mean, for any of those weird things, like, why are we funding? And why did it cost $500 million for this? Like, well, it's because that's our fucking way.
If I can feed a kid over there for 10 cents a day, there's no reason I can't do a comic book for less than 20 bills.
I can make a comic book with ChatGPT
you know
right
what I'm
now.
saying?
Fucking facts.
I'm pretty sure I could outsource that for 31 cents a day.
But in the line items in USAID, it can't say, hey, for government regime change.
Right.
In East Africa. It's like, we can't do that. And you see a lot of these
Rainbow Rangers
politicians, and it started to make sense to me a little bit. Rainbow Rangers?
Yeah, that's a comic book they had over there.
Oh, that was
Is
the
that
comic
the name
book?
of it?
It is now.
I was going to say it should be.
Rainbow
Rangers,
dude.
That's solid, man.
You're welcome.
Weren't the original Power Rangers just
They were
Rainbow Rangers?
rainbow.
Fuck yeah, they were.
Yeah. All right.
Damn, are Power Rangers gay?
Yeah.
One of them. You'll never know which one. One of the things I saw too, along with the USAID thing, I came across this deal, and you probably knew about this. I don't think I did. Did you know that there was not only scam artists collecting money off this in other countries, but we also sent money to other countries for U.S. funded COVID relief? Like the money that was allotted for U.S. COVID funds. Adam, I think before, I don't know if it'll come up. So
COVID cash.
This was from Doge. In 2020, there was a loophole that allowed individuals in other countries to file blank U.S. tax returns showing zero income and receive COVID relief checks.
I did see this.
Oh, yeah.
So in addition to that, there was $6.4 billion in pandemic funding that was received by foreign recipients, and that was from pandemicoversight.gov. So they listed this out. Excuse me, getting over being sick. So our federal government authorized an unprecedented $5 trillion in pandemic response spending. Majority of its prime recipients of this funding were located in the United States. However, approximately 2,000 prime recipients in 177 foreign countries received a total of $6.4 billion.
That's crazy. And yeah, like, this is just one of those
fucking wild
bureaucratic nonsensical programs where, like, and this one isn't even USAID, but I mean, look at all the billions of dollars we waste.
Just
like,
waste.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah, completely nuts. I think Elon had a tweet that said, "I wonder if other countries tax their citizens and send the U.S. aid."
Right?
Like, what the fuck, man?
Oh man, like,
do we get aid from other? Just a dumb question. Do we get aid from other nations?
Just AIDS.
Just AIDS.
We import
but like
that.
Financially, who sends that? Does Israel send us money ever?
A lot of our politicians, yeah.
Well, that's yeah.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Very fair.
The people that matter.
I just feel like we send everybody else money. Where's our crumb? You know,
Big
what I mean?
brother, dude. We're firstborn.
Mm.
We get all the work, none of the benefit.
China sends a lot of our higher learning institutions money,
and the spies that are dating the politicians. So it's
that's one of my favorites.
You know what I mean?
Like, there's been like a half dozen of those over the last 6 months. It's crazy. Like, oh my God, another one? Fucking Chinese spies everywhere. Hey, if you're a politician right now or a high-ranking government official, do not
stay away from Asians.
Date an Asian woman right now.
Be smart.
She is not into you.
Yeah.
She wants your passcodes.
And strippers don't like you, actually.
I mean, some of them could.
Maybe.
I had one that liked me a lot.
For sure.
I'm sure. What was his name? Heyo.
I don't do none of that gay shit.
Did I ever tell you about my first strip club?
No, maybe.
So
no.
I think it was 19. We were doing, so when we were in college, we did concert security. It was a way for us to go see free concerts.
What we need right now is the little fucking thing where the little dream and it goes back to young Steve.
Frosted tips and shit.
You had frosted tips?
Fucking A, I did. That was the style, bro. That was before your time.
I need to see pictures of this, dude. That's amazing.
Yeah. I fucking own it. Anyway, so I was 19. Obviously, you had to be 21 to get in. But the guy that owned our company like knew all these. He was like super classy guy.
Although
knew everybody at all the strip
they
clubs.
had strip clubs you can go into when you're 18. Oddly enough, they're fully nude.
Right, but they don't serve alcohol, so it's
They don't
okay.
serve alcohol, yeah.
So anyway, so we go in and we don't get carded or whatever, and I'm sitting there just hanging out. You know, we're all like, we've been working outside in the summer. We all stunk. We're all sweaty, and we're like just
Got that from Monday
just having a
going
couple
on.
beers, you
Yeah.
know, and they all thought it was hilarious because like you get people, hey, you want to dance? I'm like, no, thank you. Yeah, you want to dance? No, thank you. So we're just sitting there drinking and talking, and this girl comes over and starts like rubbing my shoulders. I'm like, no, thank you. And she's like, no, it's okay. They already paid. She's like rubbing on me, flips over. She's got her back to me. And I'm like, oh, okay. And we are not in the classiest of strip joints. Like we aren't at Bourbon Street. This isn't the A Crew. I want to say it was like Tuesday at like midnight.
I was gonna say
like
3 p.m. on
dude,
a Wednesday.
It was maybe the D Crew.
Nice.
And so she's trying to grind on me with her ass so I can see her from behind. And then she spins around and she's fucking pregnant. I was like, hell yeah, motherfucker.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And the guys are just cracking up laughing. She's just all over me. And
Some guys will pay extra for that.
Damn. I know. Some guys got a fetish for that, but that was my my first lap dance.
My Instagram feed
Disgusting
thinks I have a
pregnant
fetish for
chick.
that.
Huh?
Disgusting pregnant chick. Come on.
She was a disgusting human and she was pregnant. She wasn't disgusting because she was pregnant, John.
Okay.
God.
I mean, you got to clarify.
I know. My fault.
Yeah, I want the way back video, like Steve just walking.
It'd be
by
like
the strip
the
club.
Peyton and
If
Eli.
we can get
Yeah,
AI,
exactly.
Can we get AI to animate this for us?
Do it.
Cost
I know a guy.
It costs too much money to do those.
Oh, all right.
You get so many tokens of.
I don't know if you have the right connections.
I'm on Sora, and you can make
Johnny's
some.
our AI
You
guy,
can make
dude.
some interesting videos, but like, unless you're paying $200 a month, like you can only make like snippets. And
Did you see
it's
the Patrick Mahomes post game interview AI one?
Yeah,
That was pretty good.
those are just everywhere now.
Of course.
The voiceover ones,
Yeah.
those are everywhere. I'm talking like real full AI videos.
Yeah, just
Not-
from text.
Yeah, exactly. They're really cool. I had one. I was making one of. I wanted to show. I was trying to make like a little teaser for the Doge crew
Yeah.
walking into the Capitol. So it had a bunch of nerds fucking like, hey, walking up the steps of the Capitol. And every time I did it, they were walking down. And I said, no, I need them walking up the stairs. They need to be walking towards the front door. So what did it do? It basically just put it in reverse, and they're like hopping backwards up the stairs. I'm like, there's the AI, I know.
Did you see one of the names of the Doge guys, like his screen
Big
name or
Balls?
something? Big Balls, dude. And they said it on the news. I was fucking dying.
Elon-
User big balls.
Elon changed his fucking X handle to like Big Balls. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I might be
Oh,
misrepresenting
man.
that. Elon.
I was watching some news clip, and they must have said Big Balls like 8 times
Hairy
on
balls.
the news.
Harry Balls.
That's even better.
That's a long O. Bowls.
Yeah, with
Hairy balls.
Harry Balls. He's South African. They probably say balls different
Yeah.
there. Harry
That's
Balls.
fucking awesome, dude.
He's out of his fucking mind.
Good for him.
I
You
don't
kind
know.
of have to be, though, to be that rich and
I think you have to be
all
to
those
get to
ideas.
that.
Yeah, you got to be
level of
crazy,
wealth.
man. I bet you they're all crazy.
I don't even know what to think about him at this point.
He's a Nazi, I'll tell you that.
Well, yeah.
Proved it
They
the
all
other
are.
day. Yeah, well,
So did Kamala and
Taylor,
He's a Nazi.
balls.
Obama.
I mean, speaking of fucking Elon and X, Adam, just go ahead and pull up A7. Have you paid any attention to what Kanye's been up to the last
It's been
week?
wild, bro.
I've only heard a couple
What the
things. Is he
fuck?
losing his mind again?
Yes, in a big way.
It's
Like, he's-
crazy.
He's got
shit,
like
dude.
CTE but never played football.
Exactly.
he's got the Antonio Brown or Antonio Brown CTE.
He's got that going on.
Some of this
Yeah.
shit's been insane.
So basically, the headline reads here from TMZ: Elon Musk censors Kanye West's account after posting porn.
Oh, he
That
posted
was-
a porn.
that was the straw.
There was quite a few porn videos.
Well, I saw the picture.
There's one that I love when bitches suck black dick and all kind of like.
I
he
saw
was-
the picture he posted of him naked, and they had to like blur out everything
there's-
because he wore the same outfit as
Yeah.
his wife did or whatever.
But he started down the road.
all caps, by the way. All of this is in all caps.
Everything's in all caps all the time. He started down the
No
road
cap.
defending Diddy, and then
Yeah.
He
then-
defended Diddy?
Yeah.
I thought he outed Diddy.
No,
No, that was what's his name?
No, but I thought he was one of the people initially blasting Diddy.
well, he will also
technically it was Diddy blasting other people.
he will also
Fair enough.
periodically defend the Jews, and now he's back on
Yeah.
a Jew hating kick.
Well, I
He said
saw
the
about
Jews
his
do-
website.
He said the Jews are responsible for porn addiction. He was like, it's the Jews. That's what he said.
And he kind
You
of went.
can't blame the gun for killing people. You know what I'm saying?
he kind of went on this long, like, I don't know, what do you think? Like
You blame the user.
a 10 fucking post thing at him, and it basically ends with "I'm Hitler, now what?" or some shit like that.
And the T-shirts that he was selling.
Yeah.
So I heard his website, he took everything off. There's nothing there but a picture of a swastika.
Yeah.
You could go to his website, and
buy
they
a
just
t-shirt
took it
with a
down like
swastika.
yesterday or today. But you could buy it's a white T-shirt with a black swastika, and that was the only thing for sale. What's going on here? So like obviously the other side of it is like, all right, we really dealing with Kanye here, or have we hijacked the Kanye account? Is this really Kanye doing, or is someone just tanking his name at this
Dude,
point?
I'm going to say that's pretty on brand for Kanye.
Yeah,
Every now
he's
and then
fucking
he
nuts.
has a break.
Yeah.
Like, and he's just on one right now. Enough to where Elon posts wild shit.
Yeah.
Not porn and Nazi shit.
Yet.
I mean, yeah. But
Nazi porn?
no, there's a genre. But yeah, even Elon is like, hey, we gotta pause this guy for a minute. Like, he's drawing a lot of negative attention over here. Yeah, so Kanye's been on one
Lost
lately.
his fucking mind again.
Is he still active? Let me see if his.
I think they deactivated it either this morning or last night. They took him off Twitter.
Let me find Yee.
I think he might have did it himself. His last tweet was like, "Thanks Elon for letting me rant" or some shit, and then he deactivated his account.
Well, let's talk about that for a second. Like,
Yep, something went wrong.
Yeah.
It's gone.
where do you stand on that as far as free speech goes? Like,
That's
is he
another
calling?
question
Is he
here.
calling for?
It was the porn that did it.
Yeah, because you can't have that on X. That's.
But you can. There is porn on there.
Allegedly,
been told.
there's loopholes
Allegedly.
that you have to like go through to be able to find it, and they're supposed to pull that down. Because I looked that up once.
Yeah, but I
to see
guess if a
that
guy
was
with 33
allowed
million
by their-
followers probably shouldn't be posting porn. You're
That
probably
was
gonna get pulled
Elon's
down.
sticking point. Was he's got such a wide reach and he's posting this pornographic material. We're going to take
It's
him
against
off
user.
X.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the
terms.
sticking point.
Yeah,
Terms
you're
of
not
agreement.
like some fucking random guy named Harry Bowles fucking
Yeah,
posting
Harry
porn.
Bowles.
Like you're Kanye West, for God's sake. People are
Can't
gonna
be
pay
doing that
attention.
shit.
To you.
Kanye, come on.
Yeah, and he was commenting on it too. Again, like, I love when bitches suck black dick, and this bitch is my favorite, and like dude, this is fucking.
Like, he
was
was
nuts.
narrating the porn.
not narrating it, but he wrote a caption along with the video.
It was nuts, dude.
I
Damn.
can't remember the girl who was favorite. I'd give her a shout out, but I can't remember.
She follows the Fireside.
Well, shit,
No
they
big
deleted
deal.
his
sure.
account. We can't even find her now.
Oh, I can find it. I guarantee you type in right now who's Kanye West's favorite porn star, and it'll come up. You want
Yeah, Steve, pull that up real quick.
it?
For science.
Yeah, it's for science.
It's for science.
It's for science.
Social science. So yeah, that's when did that happen? He just suspended him like what, 2 days ago or some shit, or maybe yesterday.
Yeah, I think it was yesterday
Yeah.
because it was all through the Super Bowl. He was doing crazy shit.
It won't.
And
Everything's all
he
censored.
bought a Super Bowl commercial, not
Yeah,
on the
two-
national demographic,
Right. It was
but
a,
in
it was a
certain-
local one.
and it was him on an iPhone, just selfie cam, just talking about nothing.
It was to promote the fucking Nazi shirts.
Oh, that's right. He
Yeah.
said go to Yeezy.com or whatever he
and
said.
it was for the Nazi shirt.
What
Yeah.
the
So
fuck?
again, he bought Super Bowl airtime to promote selling this Nazi shirt.
He goes, I spent all my money on buying the time, so I guess I'm filming this on my iPhone.
Unreal, dude.
Dude, there's nothing from recent of who is it Francesca James?
Yeah, that's it. Francesca something.
Francesca James.
Francesca James. Shout
That's
out.
gross. What website?
I don't know, I'll let you know in a second.
Yeah, shoot me a link or something.
Mute that.
Sound off.
Oh boy.
Your laptop's not feeding into the video.
I know.
You're gonna fucking
All right.
get us canceled ASAP. All right, man. So all I got, that was one clip of the rundown, but all I got left is the rundown.
The rundown.
Yeah. So
It's official.
Adam,
Yes, sir.
A2, sir. So first U.S. military flights carrying illegal criminal. I love the headline. Illegal criminal aliens land
Bye.
in Guantanamo Bay. It's happening.
Have fun, boys.
So the first flight, this is just temporary.
Adios, amigos.
It's always temporary.
Yeah, ask some of those,
It's just a temporary holding place.
ask some of
Yeah,
those
ask you a couple
boys,
questions.
ask those boys from Afghanistan if it was temporary. I mean, when you're talking about life,
I mean, it's not
guess, yes.
permanent.
Yeah, you will not be here for life.
Long term can be temporary.
I think some of them were there for life. I wonder if there are any more.
Not
Like,
intentionally.
There's one guy. Hello, is anybody out there?
He's like, come on in. This is the living room. He's showing them around and
A
shit.
couple rules here.
Yeah, shoes off at the
Yeah.
door.
Over here, this is where they make you do the naked human pyramid. You will be degraded by female MPs. It's fun. It's a good time. You get
You
used
get
to
them
used
like
to it.
fucking-
Yeah, it grows on you.
Treating them like pledges and
Yeah.
shit.
This is where they flog your testicles.
Oh,
Again, you'll get used to it. Not so bad after a while.
Good for them, man.
Again, temporary housing, they apparently can house up to 30,000 people there.
Awesome.
Which
That's
is
a lot
just
of planes.
It's a draw. Again, yeah.
It's kind of a concentration camp.
Kind of?
I'm saying like
they are technically concentrating a lot of a particular ethnic group in one
in a
area.
camp. Okay.
On an island.
Okay.
Well, when you say camp, I feel that sounds fun. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
s'mores and like
Capture the
hiking,
flag.
You know, just we're gonna play games.
Try not to die.
I went to soccer camp one time and it was fucking brutal.
Sounds brutal.
Every fucking coach there was a foreigner.
Oh.
And they were mean as shit because they fucking hated American
Yeah.
kids that thought they could play soccer. So they just fucking
They
ran.
probably called it football too, huh?
That's funny.
I trouble for calling it.
Now
soccer.
you understand why they hated you. It had nothing to do with soccer.
They just fucking hate fucking American kids. Fucking losers. What else? So Adam, A3. So Trump,
I love that.
Trump provokes
That's
Biden.
great.
He did this to Fauci too, but Trump revokes Joe Biden's security clearance and
Yep.
said there's no need for Joe Biden to continue receiving access to classified information.
He doesn't remember the shit anyway.
Well, yeah, and if
He's not a threat.
again, like if he's getting it, who around him is going to get? Because Joe was running the country, right?
That's the issue.
Who around him is going to
Yeah.
get that info? Like it sure as fuck ain't
Someone's
Joe.
going, hey, Joe, do me a favor. Will you pull up this file? I was just curious
Yeah.
about.
He in the Truth Social, whatever it's called when you tweet on that, he put "You're fired" on it too. It was awesome.
You're fired.
You're
He-
fired.
He pulled like Fauci's security detail that we pay a buttload of money
Yeah.
for. So yeah, like dude, you're again another public servant who's quite wealthy.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah, you can afford your own security, dickhead. So speaking of Fauci, so I got this. I can't remember what podcast I was listening to, but they were talking about Fauci and this guy named Kerry Mullis. So I didn't know who Kerry Mullis was, but he was a biochemist who died in 2019. He right before COVID kicked off, right? His claim to fame was he invented the PCR method.
Oh, wow.
So PCR testing.
The testing?
Yeah, and then he had this
I
to
heard about
say.
this.
This is a video from a while back.
Rogan talked about it the other day. I know exactly where this is going. It's
Was
crazy.
it Rogan?
Yeah.
Who was he talking to?
I don't know, some doctor guy on there. It was maybe last week.
Okay, so yeah, this is Kerry
It's
Mullis
wild.
criticizing Fauci. Just go ahead and play it, Adam.
What is it? What is it about humanity that it wants to go to all the details and stuff and listen? You know, these guys like Fauci get up there and start talking. You know, he doesn't know anything really about anything, and I'd say that to his face.
Mind you, this is pre-COVID, so it's not like Fauci's on the
Yeah, this is
national
from a while
stage yet. or
back.
anything.
And this is the guy that created the PCR test.
the PCR test.
To be clear, the PCR test, that's the nose
The rapid one, right?
swab,
yeah,
right?
The rapid nose swab.
15-minute result
Yeah.
test.
yeah.
Nothing. The man thinks you can take a blood sample and stick it in an electron microscope, and if it's got a virus in there, you'll know it. He doesn't understand electron microscopy, and he doesn't understand medicine. And he should not be in a position like he's in.
Oh, yeah. Good thing we've had him for
Pre-COVID.
40 years.
Administrative people and
Since
they
the
don't
80s.
know anything about what's going on the bottom. You know, those guys have got an agenda, which is not what we would like them to have, being that we pay for them to take care of our health in some way. They've got a personal kind of agenda. They make up their own rules as they go. They change them when they want to, and they smugly, like Tony Fauci, does not mind going on television in front of the people that pay his salary and lie directly into the camera.
Doesn't mind going on the camera and lying directly to your face.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know how long ago this was, but I mean, it looks 90s, right?
Let me ask this. Is it possible that this guy maybe got screwed out of some money and now he's bitter, so he's on this course to tell people like this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's an asshole. Like, don't get me wrong.
Of course.
I believe everything he's saying because of everything we've seen with COVID.
Of course.
But he kind of has an air to him, like, you know, they didn't pay me what they said they were going to pay me, so
Maybe, possibly. I mean, that's always an issue, right? But when the guy that invented the PCR test, basically, he's had other things talking about. So again, like Adam said, the PCR test is what we all determined. Hey, got COVID, right? When we kind of all knew along, like you could just be sick and test positive for COVID.
Yeah.
And that's what he's saying. Like you can't just do this and expect you're going to see this virus. He talks about on another thing, like there are remnants of all kinds of viruses in these tests. Like it doesn't mean you have it.
Yeah.
It's just there. It's a remnant.
Yeah.
So again, with these PCR tests, everybody and their fucking mom testing positive for COVID was probably a little faulty coming from the guy who developed the PCR test to begin with.
but it falls in line with everybody who's invested in the vaccines and who's invested in the research of promoting that. Look at how bad we need all this stuff. Like,
and he's talking about this back again. This is pre-COVID, now nowhere close to COVID, and he's talking about their agenda and like, oh, dude, and Fauci does not mind lying to your face. Like he's a bureaucrat. He's gonna say what bureaucrats say. He doesn't have your best interests in mind, even though he probably should, considering he's in charge of our health to some degree. Yeah, crazy. Was it on Rogan, Adam?
Yeah,
nuts,
it was on Rogan.
Who the fuck was he talking to? Because I don't even remember listening to Rogan recently.
It was, I think it was an episode last week. Brett Weinstein, I think.
No, I didn't listen. I know I didn't listen. I know I didn't listen to that.
Let's see.
I feel like I've heard enough from Brett Weinstein lately.
Dan Richards? No, it wasn't him.
Dan Richards. Who's Dan Richards?
He is the de-dunking.
De-dunking?
Yeah.
Like Dunkin' Donuts?
De-dunking?
No, I haven't gotten too much into that one. I don't know. Brett Weinstein's the evolutionary biologist.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't that. I didn't listen to that.
Maybe I didn't hear it on I could have sworn it was on Rogan.
It might have been. Dan Richards. I think that's who it was. Dan Richards.
He's the de-dunking guy.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, the guy with the beard. That's who I listened to. Anyway, there's a few shows back, but that's it. Yep. Thought that was interesting. Came across that and like, hey, this is kind of
And I don't think that catches anybody by surprise. Like, it makes total sense.
No, but yeah, it's just another little
it's crazy how long they've known.
Arrow in the quiver to like just shoot down these fucking guys.
He can't be tried for war crimes, right? Because he's pardoned?
From
anything that he may.
Everything.
Only in the United States, there's been talk about.
Get him to Russia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get that motherfucker.
That'd be fucking wild.
All right, Adam. Moving on. Next one. We got Trump again, wanting to buy Gaza. Doubles down. Remember, he said, "Hey, we're gonna own it. We're gonna rebuild it."
Mar-a-Lago too.
And they asked him about it again. Like, surely you can't be serious about owning Gaza, right?
Committed to buying and owning Gaza.
We're committed.
As far as us rebuilding it, we may give it to other states in the Middle East to build sections of it. Other people may do it through our auspices. But we're committed to owning it, taking it, and making sure that Hamas doesn't move back. There's nothing to move back into. The place is a demolition site. It'll be, the remainder will be demolished.
So he goes on about that.
So if you live there now, fuck you. We're going to demolish everything.
Again, I think I don't know how you take ownership of that area without fucking troops in there. Just fucking crazy.
He also said it's not going to be our military. He said our troops aren't even going to do it, as according to him. I don't know.
This sounds bizarre. The only thing I can even in some world try to make sense of this is he's going fucking 50 yards way too far just to get everybody in the area to kind of force their hand. Like, you fuckers better figure this out or we're taking it.
Yeah.
That's like, the only other thing I've heard is maybe it's a negotiation.
You better fucking
tactic.
figure this out now.
Yeah.
Otherwise it's going to belong to us.
The Riviera of the Middle East was the actual quote, is what he wants to make it.
Adam, go to the next slide here. And to his point about it being a fucking demolition zone. Remember last week?
Oh, yeah.
I talked to you about Google Maps updating their maps. So what this is, it's just a montage of before and after pictures that I kind of cobbled together. So before and after pictures of Gaza. Oh, sorry.
Jeez.
These are entire neighborhoods gone. Look at that. Does that look like they went after one guy in one house?
Looks like California after the fires, dude.
Dude, they bombed
just decimated
the living fuck out of this. Gone, like just gone.
So sad, man.
Again, this was like a couple million people lived here.
I don't know. I'm all for going after terrorists, man, but like it's just sad. You think about like the fallout from all.
Yeah,
this.
if you were just killing terrorists, that's great. And I mean, yes, there are going to be some casualties. It just happens.
Yeah,
sure. But damn.
That's wild, man.
Gone, just fucking gone. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful land. They're not going to be the Riviera of the Middle East now.
Riviera of the Middle East.
I thought that was just interesting.
Charge admission.
Good news is it's only going to cost a couple hundreds of billions to rebuild that.
Well,
so
we
can pay for it.
In Trump fashion, he says other countries are going to pay for it.
Which, that I believe.
Maybe. I mean,
that I believe.
Like, will they, or will we just kind of subvert and give them some USAID money here and there and like, okay, yeah, now you build it, but we're actually going to
It'll be through shell corporations on other countries that we're funding.
Is. It's just fucking nonsense.
That's horrible, man.
It's crazy, right?
That's sad.
And that was it, man. The only thing I had left was tech, and I'm sure you got some tech yourself.
I got no tech today.
What?
Yep. I was trying to keep it streamlined and not have a bunch of randomness, like you said.
Dude,
handful of topics.
I'm so bummed that tech's part of it.
I know, but
That's part of it.
I go so
It's the best part of life.
all over.
I really wish that fucking slide. That bummed me out. I couldn't get my fucking topical slideshow going. Anyway, so tech, Adam, play the next slide there. Oh yeah. And it's going to be A8. Robo bees. We have fucking robotic bees.
My son's new fear unlocked. He hates bees as it is.
Does he?
Yeah.
So basically, MIT has now invented robo bees. They now have the capacity to hover over 1,000 seconds, which is 100 times longer than previous versions, drawing inspiration from the natural world. These robust machines hold the promise of transforming agriculture.
That's pretty awesome.
So basically, they're continuing to work on these bees to pollinate. Like, is this going to be the future of the world? Like, you know,
We need bees.
We need bees, right?
So we can kill bees now and not feel bad about it.
These ones aren't going to sting you. They might spy on you,
I was saying, I saw the world's smallest camera attached pretty nice to that thing.
That thing was like a pinhead, that camera, right?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that was wild. See how small it is.
And it records at 30 frames per second. Remember we talked about that?
Damn,
So
I didn't even think about that.
Throw that on a bee, you're fucked. You're fucked. But
Dude.
yeah, like robotic bees are actually like trying to pollinate plants with these. I don't know how that works.
I wonder like what that does for like crops. Is it going to fuck up crops because now we're trying to grow them when we shouldn't be? Like, do we need more chemicals in the crops so we can grow them year round because we got bees to pollinate them? Like,
Oh, we can do that. We can do that.
That's what I'm saying.
We got lots of chemicals.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is it just
Of course. Said they have the potential to revolutionize the farming industry by boosting yields in multi-level.
You know what they don't boost yields of, John?
What?
Honey.
Oh, we do need honey too.
You need honey.
Where are we going to get honey?
From the bees.
These
But,
bees?
okay, the robot bees do the work. They put in the man hours so
So
that
you
the
don't have
actual
to.
bees don't have to, and they can make the honey.
They're just going to have fat ass bees like
Just
eating
lazy
honey.
bees, dude.
Oh, dude. So our honey's going to be a byproduct of like what our chickens are now. They just sit in one spot and get all
Yeah.
fucking blown up like a tick.
Yeah, just really small cages.
Yeah.
So they said they're specifically trying to grow food in warehouses with
Mm-hmm.
these particular bees here.
Does Bill Gates have any involvement in this yet?
No.
I'll give you
Not enough
fucking-
chemicals.
I didn't go that far down the fucking web
I want to know who owns it.
or down the well, but
DARPA.
MIT
DARPA.
invented it. Where did they get the funding for the research? I don't know.
Probably
Yeah.
Bill Gates.
DOD.
What do we say the new slang was
USAID.
besides follow the money?
Our new saying?
Yeah.
Trust the science?
No, I was tired of follow the money. I
Yeah.
wanted something different.
I don't remember.
I don't either. We gotta go back a bunch of episodes. Okay, Adam, A9.
Oh,
We-
shit.
we
We
can
got
mute it.
sound.
We don't need the sound. But basically what this is a robotic suit kind of made by Hyundai. So
Whoa.
it's emerging tech advancements, and Hyundai has introduced the Xable Shoulder, a wearable robot designed to use basically like hydraulics and shit for repetitive, demanding tasks. So
They're
it
like
reduces,
push-ups.
Like fighting fire, bro.
it reduces shoulder load by 60% and muscle strain by 30%,
Damn.
offering up to 8.1 pounds of assist force in basic adjustable versions.
Did
So,
you
like-
throw one of these on and then go into a house fire for some overhaul, dude? You'd be carrying couches out with one arm. Just, where you want the couch?
Well, like that's like a little tiny mini exoskeleton.
Fucking
Look how
cool.
agile that thing is.
And that's just the beginning. It'll be full body suits.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Speaking of full body suits, Adam, go to the next slide. I saw these two together. And
Damn, it was almost like it was meant to be.
Almost.
Meant to be.
Hey. So this is an exoskeleton called KIST, K-I-S-T.
Okay.
And Angel Robotics have unveiled the Walk-On Suit F1, a next-generation exoskeleton designed to assist individuals with paraplegia. So what you see is this robot here basically will walk over to you wherever you're at, and then that fucking suit just fits you. Do you remember?
Voltron.
No, not
Oh.
Voltron.
The Robo Fighter one?
No, what was the movie with the
Pacific Rim.
blue people with the tails? Pacific
Avatar.
Rim. Avatar. Remember how the Marines had those suits?
Yes.
So it kind of, and also Pacific Rim, except on a much smaller scale. But that thing just walks over to this dude in a wheelchair, if you're not watching, and he's able to get this suit fitted onto him. Next thing you know, suit clamps on and he's walking.
Dude.
That crippled motherfucker's walking now.
He just threw his braces like he was fucking
Dude,
Forrest Gump.
Like
That's
Joe
the new-
Biden running up the steps.
That's the new Crip Walk right there, boys.
Cripple walk.
Oh,
Oh, shit.
but
Dude, that's badass. I'm so interested to see like where that goes because I mean, human robotics, like
wearable robotics,
robotic
thing, yeah.
suits, battles. We've talked about drones. We've talked about robot dogs. We've talked about the change in warfare. Like, what are you really going to be losing? Like, it could still be people because they're going to be in these goddamn suits.
I remember when I was in the Marine Corps. I joined in 1999, and I remember in 2000, a cover of, I can't remember what magazine it was, but it was a big publication, but it talked about the future of warfare. And in the year 2000, they were demoing this exoskeleton load thing that attached from your waist to like your knees, and it would help with carrying loads for soldiers. Like, that was 25 years ago they were talking. So they've been working on this shit forever. So
Adam, were you going to say something smart ass?
Definitely not.
Oh, you looked over like you had something to fire.
Nothing about carrying
loads. Yeah, I figured. That's where
I'm a child.
Carrying loads. I know what you're thinking, you dirty fuck.
Sounds
That's
like
all I got, man.
Pretty good, man. I forewent the text section today. I'm gonna jump right into the fireside.
Jump.
Fireside, fuck yeah, get some. I came across a video I thought was pretty cool. This guy already has the I don't want to say the patent, but he's already been doing it. But I think this is something we can incorporate into our job. Adam, this is B5. It's kind of a new job idea. So,
how you doing, Agent Ratliff? OSHA cares, diversity fears, ID number. First of all, you need to lose the attitude.
Can you pause it real quick?
You're not Cal.
So this guy has a whole social media site deal where people can reach out to him, give him information, and he will go to their place of work and tell their boss off. Like, he has a business doing this.
How did we not think of this?
The Fireside boys.
Oh yeah.
Like,
do you have somebody in your life
submission.
you want to tell to fuck off?
We will come
But
tell
you
your
can't?
company officer to fuck off.
Is Michael
Done.
here?
Shit, I'll tell your mother-in-law to fuck off.
You know
I don't care who it
Like,
is.
but imagine like
Yeah.
if we could do this at work. Like, we were the guys that when we showed up, hey, Chief, you got a second?
Chief, sit down.
So go ahead and play it. This guy tells this guy's boss off. It's pretty funny.
He works for me. Okay. He's on the clock with me. Well, this is about him. And you came out here with your bravado shoulder like you're scaring somebody. We over here.
Naturally a broad shoulders, man. I work out every day.
Listen.
Fucking loser.
We over you. We can let you go. That's what I
You
just told you.
cannot let me go. Go ahead.
I just told you. We're here to make a determining factor who we want to.
I mean, I don't know what's happening. I have no clue.
That guy's in on it, Steve. He's just
No.
playing down.
Oh yeah, I think he's the guy that submitted it.
Came out here. You don't come out here like you run me. This is a new generation. White people don't run nothing. And we damn sure ain't scared of you.
Get
Yeah,
out.
I know it's get out.
Yeah.
Goddamn president looking motherfucker. That's your problem now. Y'all ain't want to hear these complaints because y'all know
No,
what we
because
finna
you're
come on
talking
to.
about racism, so get your racist ass out of my building.
Oh,
Get out.
that was the key thing. Look, what that say? He is racist.
So basically, they sit and do this
He
whole
tries to take
thing.
his fucking book.
So this boss guy gets pretty mad, and this guy tells him, "Hey man,
What's wrong with you?
Sir, there's no need to escalate this.
I'll beat your white ass in here. Fuck wrong with you?
So pretty awesome the way it ends. He ends up getting on the elevator and leaving, telling him it's all on camera. But
We authority figure. And it's on camera right here that you invaded my space, dummy.
Dummy.
Motherfucker.
I love the. I told you I wanted to use dummy more. So
I like the fact that I just have naturally broad shoulders.
I
a
work
lot.
out. I was like, settle
Great
down,
comeback,
dude.
bro.
Yeah,
You got him.
settle
You
down.
got him.
It's like right here. The
Yeah, I
racism.
work
That's the
out.
main complaint. Right?
Fucking loser. What a
So-
chooch.
I saw that. Thought that was pretty funny. I wanted to do a. I had something I wanted to run by you.
Fireside fuck offs.
Fireside fuck offs.
Mm-hmm.
Submit your fireside fuck off.
Investors?
Just submit your
Possibly
fireside fuck
you.
off. We'll tell somebody to fuck off on the fireside.
Yeah, anybody. It doesn't have to be your boss. You got
I came
a family
across
member?
this next deal. I thought it was kind of interesting. There's
Dog?
a quote.
Sorry.
There's a it was a quote I came across, I read, and then this was on a firefighter specific. And then they had a job board, and I'll kind of explain that in just a second. So Adam, if you want to hit B2. So this talks about nonverbal communication. So this is the standard verbal communications within my crew. This is posted from somebody. From air brake to entry for search is 0. 30 seconds or so prior to arrival, we receive our assignment. We sign into I can't read that far, into a tool task job board in the morning, which I'll show you what that is in a second. This standardizes how we split our crew of 4, the officer and the chauffeur, not the engineer, and the 2 firefighters. It also
want me to read it, Steve? I got
standardizes.
it
Yeah,
closer.
go ahead.
It also standardizes the tools each position carries, which complement their assignment with their partner as the whole crew. The inside team knows that they will default to the front door and locate fire. The outside defaults to upstairs and bedrooms. We all understand the flow of how we search from each entry point. All of this allows us to default to no verbal communication within the crew prior to entering. Less verbal, more standardization equates to reduced time and less communication issues.
So before you hit the next one, I would say that upon reading this, it's funny because like I was thinking about from like I'm in a new position, right? And so from having these expectations talks or even figuring out when you get there, like, hey, what are you on? What do you have? How many people, if they have a spot, obviously know right away, but you get rovers, you get people that are out of the mix. And so I was reading this, and I was like, this is kind of dumb. Like, we already do this. But then I was kind of looking at this. I was trying not to be the guy who looks at this and says, this is stupid. This is dumb. And I was just curious on what your thoughts were. So go to the next slide, Adam. So they have a fucking board, a job board. And you literally, when you show up to work, there's team A, team B. It shows what truck you're on. And it has, 4 or 5 different types of calls and what you're responsible for bringing to the deal. So when you go to work, you basically sign your name on this board of what role you're in. So that was my first thought. My first thought was, this is lame as fuck. You should know this. But when you go on to learn about these guys, like, this is the standardized approach that their department takes. They teach this in the academy. So I started thinking about that from the standpoint of, okay, if I work for a different department and this was the standard, was they teach us in the academy. If you're in this seat, this role, you sign into this board when you get to the station, you'll know exactly what tools you need. It kind of eliminates the need for having to have an expectations talk of like, hey, do you know what you're doing? Are you sounding? Are you cutting? Are you comfortable cutting? Like, in some ways, like if you work for a smaller department, like this kind of makes a little bit of sense.
Well, then going off of what you said there, like when you're asking the guy, are you comfortable cutting? This takes that away. Like, what if that dude that's assigned is not comfortable?
Sure, you still gotta have the conversation.
What's that? Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I'd rather have the conversation.
To me, this screams having a plan before you get off the truck, and that's gone wrong for me every time I've tried having a plan before.
Sure, you still need to be flexible. I've never seen this.
It's a cool starting point.
I didn't know if this was a common thing like in the Middle East, maybe in the Midwest or back East.
I'm sure, yeah. Like, I don't know, man. Like,
it's a good starting point.
I think when you have a crew that's a little seasoned or been around each other a long time, like, yeah, there's probably not a ton of communication going on. Like,
like you and Chuck in the back don't talk, or you guys didn't used to talk a whole lot. Like,
yeah, like, we know who's doing what. Like, if the plug's on that side, you're taking. So on this side, I'm taking. Like I know what tools I'm taking. I know what tools he's taking.
Right.
Like, and from there, the fire dictates what we're gonna do. Like, they're talking about like, you're going to this way, you're going that way. Like, it's just me and Chuck. Like, we're gonna have our plan like right then and there.
Yeah.
Like, so there's no wondering about what anybody else is doing. I'm leaving that to the captain to assign the next truck, and they're gonna do what they do. Like, I don't know. We don't have a lot of I don't necessarily see the need for this. I like people having a set thing of what's expected of them every day. Like, but I think that's something that we kind of ingrain. Like me as a BLS guy on a call, like I'm getting in, I'm getting vitals, I'm doing all this, I'm prepping stuff for me. Like, I know my job. Like, I don't need to tell you, and I don't need you to put it on a fucking board for me either. I don't know.
So for anybody who's just listening who can't see this, this is basically job assignments per truck. They have it listed as Team A and Team B, and I assume these are 2 different trucks, but this is for the backseat firefighters. So they have a RIC responsibility, they have search and rescue recon responsibility, event responsibility, whether it's residential or commercial, and then a motor vehicle accident responsibility.
See, that's totally like, that's a lot going on. Like, just put it this way, from our perspective of when we come up to a fire. Let's say we're taking a plug, like engineer's not going to hand jack. We take a plug. Let's say my backseat partner, because the plug was on the right side, he took the plug, right? And then we fucking go off. Like, I know at that point, like, I'm grabbing the nozzle.
What comes next.
I'm grabbing. Yeah, I don't need you to like tell me like.
Well, and again, so I think these guys, they were saying, so like, there's multiple comments. It's very 50-50 split. So some of them say, hey, this is the legit way to do it. Riding assignments are 100% the way to go. It takes all the guesswork out of it. Nobody's going to show up without a tool. And you guys have both been on calls. I've been on calls where somebody comes up and they don't have the tool, or they don't have the right tool because they maybe they're new, they're inexperienced. Maybe they didn't have a conversation ahead of time. But then there's the other half that's like, hey man, like if you just train and you know like what's expected of you, and you're you're able to carry out multiple tasks because you're well trained across the spectrum. Like you understand what's needed before you get there, whether you speak or not. So it was pretty divided. My first reaction, I mean, very similar to yours, was like, this is dumb. Like we don't need this. We don't do this. But I was trying to approach it from an open point of view.
I don't think it's dumb. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that. I just don't personally care for it.
I think it would benefit less experienced, newer people more. But also, I feel like in some ways it would make you reliant on where you're at on the board and not being able to think outside the box or overcome.
Like
that's what I was thinking.
That would be my fear.
For newer guys on the job, when like anytime I get some, like recently we've had a couple of newer guys rove through and mottos off and like, hey, what do you want to do? I'm like, hey, plug side, you take this. And I was like, hey, I normally take these tools. Like you can take, so I'm taking this. Like you don't need to take a fucking set of irons. Like this is what I'm going to take. Maybe you grab X, Y, Z. Like, and again, like you need to be able to think those things through. Sometimes they don't even need forcible entry. Like I don't need a set of irons. If I look there and the fucking door's wide open, like I don't need to take, like I can take a fucking pike block.
And if you're on this list and that's your job, you're going to go grab that regardless.
Yeah,
because
like,
that's what it says.
The door's already open, but
it pigeonholes
it's on the
you
list.
Into a
like no, I'd rather at that point take a Boston rate because it's more of a versatile tool in my opinion.
Yeah.
If I don't have to force entry.
Yeah.
Like so yes, I like it.
Yeah.
But I personally think the conversation at the beginning of the shift, like why not?
I think, and what's funny is as I thought about that and I looked at this board, like I still thought, regardless of whether you have this board or not, like you still have to have conversations. So
what's the point?
Does the board really cut down on the communication point? You can still have that 30 seconds of nonverbal after having not had this board and had the communication.
I guess it'd be cool, like when you're maybe more for ladders. I could say like because you have a couple
multiple
different things,
seats and rolls.
Like hey, what saws am I supposed to grab again? Like if you're thinking like on the way out the door, you're like, okay, I can grab that. Extrication. What am I grabbing? Am I grabbing the spreaders or am I grabbing what am I doing there? Okay, I think that makes more sense.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's dumb. I just don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting. I wanted to get your take on it.
No, different strokes, right?
The last thing I have, this is what I'm going to wrap up with today, is B7. Anybody who's listened to the show for any length of time knows about Johnny's longtime bully, Abdul.
I didn't look into them. I saw this came across my feed.
I looked into it and I'll tell you about it. So this is the article of a brave 77-year-old man who confronted his old school bully and got the absolute shit kicked out of him. So the Dublin man, Danny Larder, at 77 years of age, finally confronted his childhood bullies. He was quoted as saying, bullies, multiple. He was quoted as saying, I wasn't sure it would go well, but I certainly wasn't expecting this, Larder told WWN from his hospital bed as he recovered from 6 broken ribs, a punctured lung, concussion, shattered wrist, and a dislocated testicle.
Damn.
Yeah. Ready for this?
What happened to his nut?
So Larder reached out to his former school bullies on social media and arranged a meeting up for coffee in the city center in hopes of conveying to the men how hurt he was by his treatment at the hands of them. I hadn't even sat down and they were already calling me Fanny Farter, the same name they called me in school. Yeah. I went to throw a punch, such was the lifetime of resentment and fury I'd built up, but instead they beat 100 different colors of shit out of me. Honestly, I had read so many Daily Mail articles and seen so many YouTube videos about old bullies getting their comeuppance. I started to believe I could get similar revenge and closure. Fuck me, I was wrong, added Larder, who was told by onlookers that after throwing his one punch, his assailants danced on his head like it was a pogo ball while chanting Fanny, Fanny, Fanny.
No fucking way. Is this real?
What's worse is I shat myself during the beating and the lads uploaded a video of it to TikTok with the title, Danny Larder, the Fanny Farter is a shitting sharter. It got 10 million views.
Is this real?
So, this is not real.
Okay, so I
was reading this and cracking up, and apparently the Waterford Whispers News is an Irish satirical news website.
I was like, I just can't picture this 77-year-old Irish man talking like
that. But
I
was reading this, and I saw this, and I was like, damn, dude, maybe Johnny shouldn't go after Abdul.
Well, I mean, if this was real, my man outnumbered himself from the get-go.
Yeah.
It's one at a time, bro. If you're going to call out the bullies, one at a time.
You don't invite them all to coffee. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
What was that? They beat 7 different kinds of shit out of me.
7 different colors of shit out of me.
That's a good line.
So anyway, I want to close up with that. Maybe let bygones be bygones. Abdul, if you're out there.
I dig it. All right, everybody. Kind of a disjointed start to the show. My bad. I'll get that squared away. But till then, fuck off. I don't care.
Yeah.
Or pay us to tell somebody else to fuck off.
Yeah. Fireside fuck offs.
Fireside
fuck
fuck
offs.
offs. You heard it here first.
Later.
That's it.